Today we're in front of some 3-year-old grapevines in our Ranch Creek Estate vineyard. If things go as planned, this will be the first year that we harvest grapes from our vineyard. In our video series, we will discuss how to prune and train grapevines over the first few years to maximize grape quality and grape quantity. In this first video, we will introduce some new ideas, thoughts, and concepts while focusing in on grapevine pruning and training during the first year of grapevine growth. Regardless if you elect to plant cuttings from last year's vine, transplanting vines on their own roots, or even transplanting vines that have been grafted on rootstock, pruning and training of these grapevines properly from the beginning will establish a good strong support structure and good fruit production, and also develop a solid root system. During the first year, one wants to select the strongest shoot that grows from the newly planted vine and train it to go vertically with the support of a wooden stick, a metal rod like an iron rebarb, a grow tube, or even a combination of all of these supports. Here we like to use and reuse bamboo shoots that we've zip tied to one or more of the bottom horizontal wires that make up our grapevine training or trellis system. Let's take some time to talk about this support system for a bit. There are a number of trellis systems to choose from, and while one may not be needed at planting, it's a good idea to plan out the vineyard in advance for proper spacing, soil, water, sun exposure, along with a support system or trellis system. Pros and cons on having a system in place prior to planting. A pro would be not having to work around or damaging your young vines if it's in place in advance of the grapevine planting. While a con would be the upfront cost. In our vineyard, we elected to install the base of the trellis system and work our way up as our young vines grew up over the first couple of years. We did this by installing the end post and the bottom support wires prior to planting our grapevines. In doing this, we were able to spread out some of our initial vineyard costs and labor over the first couple of years versus having it all in place prior to planting our grapevines. An example of a trellis system that is well suited for growing grapes in Texas is the VSP trellis system, or the vertical shoot positioning trellis system. In a VSP system, the vine's fruiting zone, the area where the bulk of the grapes will be harvested from, is equally spaced down the horizontal row as seen here. With all that said, let's get back to attending to young vines over the first year of growth. Keeping in mind that during the first year, while one should select the strongest shoot, that a viable option in choosing just one shoot for your trunk is to select the best 2 shoots for your trunk. The theory behind this option is if the main trunk were to fail due to damage or disease, that one would have a second trunk as a backup versus having to go back in later years and starting again from the ground. While we like to keep our main shoots to one, which will later become the trunk of the grapevine, we have used 2 shoots for some of our vines, as you can see here. Once one locates a shoot they want to train, secure the shoot to a vertical support. As stated before, we prefer to use bamboo shoots with either gardening twine, non-adhesive gardening plastic tape, or gardening Velcro tape. We have elected to implement the use of Velcro tape in our vineyard, as the twine can cut into a young vine and the negative impact on the environment in using the plastic tape. While all of these support options can cut into a young vine and some have greater negative impact on the environment, we've noticed that the Velcro tape gave us the ability to move and reapply the same piece of tape as needed throughout the growing season. As with the bamboo shoots, this gives us the ability to use and reuse some of the same items for our support system. By doing this, we've been able to cut down on some of the costs and hope to have a lesser impact on the environment. Since one will have to repeat the training process multiple times during the first year of growth, as a shoot can grow 1 to 3 inches per day, using Velcro to secure the vine to the vertical shoot allows one to reposition the point of support quickly and easily as the young vine grows in vertical length and in shoot girth. Also, with the support and training of the vines, you will want to remove other shoots that appear to direct the vine's energy to the main shoot or trunk and not to any of the other growth. Again, keeping in mind that you may want to keep a second shoot. Whichever support products one elects to use, the end goal is to secure the young vine to the vertical support so that the trunk or trunks develop as vertically straight as possible. Depending on your training or trellis system and the vigor of your vines, the vines may reach a point where the vine will need to be bent horizontally or tipped before the end of the first growing season. Tipping is the process where the tip of a vine is cut off just below the main horizontal support for your grapes. In this next phase of growth, the energy will move down laterally with the horizontal support or supports. This horizontal growth is known as the cordon or cordons, which is a French term for arms of the vine. While the trunk will support the vines, it's these cordons or arms that will support multiple shoots year after year and will be the host for the clusters of grapes. In our trellis system, we've modified the traditional VSP system by tipping the vines multiple times, so the vines have 3 sets of cordons, or 6 arms, versus the traditional 2-arm per trunk VSP vine. Time will tell if we're successful with our modified VSP trellis system. For now, saying bye from Ranch Creek Vineyards. We hope to see you again soon, that you found this presentation educational, and that you enjoyed our first video from our set of presentations on grape pruning and training, with the end goal to maximize and improve one's grape quality and grape. Remember to thank a grape grower today, as he may help you to unwind later.